Hi, everybody. Pastor Kirk here, wishing everybody a loving and joy-filled Christmas. You know, the Christmas story is the greatest story. It never stops surprising us and filling us with wonder, capturing our hearts. In the familiar words of Luke's gospel, and there were in that same country shepherds, abiding in the fields, keeping watch over their flocks by night, when lo, the angel of the Lord appeared unto them. Lo, that's short for look. How do we do what Luke says? How do we look at something that isn't physically there? It's described in words. Look at what? With our imagination. And the world has been imagining ever since how this true story actually looked. Every time we sing Angels We Have Heard on High, or Hark the Herald Angels Sing, or the First Noel, we reimagine the terror, the wonder, the joy of that first Christmas night, when the angel of the Lord announced the greatest news the world would ever hear. Unto you is born today, over in Bethlehem town, a Savior, and he is Christ the Lord. You know, I love being in church for this celebration. And I look forward to seeing all of you at our Christmas Eve and Christmas Day services. You know, if you're not going over the river and through the woods to grandma's or grandkids' house, I'm sure you'll be riding in a one-horse open sleigh to church. I was just over in the worship center, which is beautifully decorated for the weekend. I can hear Howard rehearsing Christmas music through the office walls. The staff is poking 1,000 Christmas candles into little holders, you know, to guard against dripping wax. There is a joyful excitement that the staff is feeling in all of these preparations that remind me of giddy kids going to bed on Christmas night. You know, and let me tell you, if you haven't sung your full quota of carols this season, here's what we're singing on Christmas Day. Are you ready? O come, all ye faithful, O little town of Bethlehem, God rest ye merry gentlemen, O holy night. That's a lot of O's. Silent night, joy to the world. You know, we've tried to accommodate every carol request this year, but no, we're not singing Santa Baby or Frosty or Rudolph. They didn't make the short list this year. Sorry. Did you know Joy to the World was not originally composed as a Christmas carol? I mean, the only time we sing it is Advent and Christmas, but Isaac Watts, the English pastor and hymn writer in the 1700s, he composed that song as a paraphrase of Psalm 98. It is a joyful imagining of what the world will be like when Jesus comes again and establishes his messianic kingdom on earth. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King, the whole earth. And joy to the world, the Savior reigns. And he rules the world with truth and grace. And no more let sin and sorrow grow. For he comes to make his blessings flow far as the curse is found. You know, that's a picture of the world when Jesus has come again. Although it's impossible to sing that song and not imagine, you know, the joy of the angels and the shepherds as they gather around the manger. But it's important to remember the birth of Jesus, that's simply phase one in God's rescue plan. It was launched at Christ's first coming, but it will reach its fulfillment and culmination at his second coming. Anyway, I just want to say Merry Christmas from our entire staff to all of you. And right after Christmas, Leal and I will be taking off a couple of weeks on vacation. We'll see you in January, and we will miss two exciting January events. The launch of our second classic service, 10:30 in the chapel, starting January 8th, and a new preaching series that begins, All You Need Is Love. That's the title of this series. The many ways God gives us to express love to each other. And that's going to run through mid-February. Hey, as you give gifts to the ones you love, I invite you this Christmas to remember your church. A special financial offering before year end would be a welcome expression of love and would help us finish the calendar year fiscally strong so that we can pay our bills, we can fund our staff raises, which we awarded in October, and we can ensure that our great ministry and mission programs go forward in the new year. Hey, Merry Christmas, everybody. And we sure love you, Pharaoh.